Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, this morning I can see that Wall Street has extended its record-breaking streak with all three major indices hitting fresh highs as of yesterday. S&P 500 closed 0.04% up, Nasdaq was up 0.7%, and Dow was up a full 0.1%. NVDA Corp boosted optimism on artificial intelligence after pledging to invest as much as $100 billion in OpenAI, and that has led to a tech rally. US futures are steady ahead of Fed Chair Powell's pivotal speech today, and key data including preliminary PMIs, and on Friday we're going to get PCE information. Those are the data points that are looming large on the markets right now. And the NVIDIA OpenAI partnership is something that I want to make a separate video about. The $100 billion commitment to OpenAI represents one of the largest AI partnerships in history. The phased investment starts with $10 billion to fund and equip at least 10 gigawatts of AI data centers through 2026, with NVIDIA taking a non-voting stake while supplying advanced chips. I think this is a big victory for Sam Altman and for OpenAI as well. And this deal solidifies NVIDIA's dominance in AI compute infrastructure and ensures OpenAI's access to cutting-edge hardware for next-generation models, while Microsoft loses its exclusive cloud provider status. Now, this raises a lot of red flags for me. If you look at CoreWeave, and if you look at OpenAI, and you look at NVIDIA, it's becoming a very incestuous kind of investment relationship. It's becoming a house of cards, but that's for another day, another video. Pfizer has re-entered the obesity drug market with $7.3 billion Metsera acquisition. Oracle has surged almost 6% on executive promotions, and BYD dropped after Berkshire Hathaway's complete exit. And we also have news that CVS has placed Omnicare unit into bankruptcy, and that Spirit Airlines is furloughing 1/3 of flight attendants amid restructuring. But if I look at the market outlook, I would say it's a bit mixed in my opinion. The Fed's recent rate cut continues supporting valuations, but concerns mount over the overstretched multiples and the sustainability of AI-driven gains. Today's focus centers on Powell's remarks and whether the current momentum can persist amid growing debate over market fundamentals versus AI euphoria. Come to think of it, the reason why the Fed is cutting rates is because employment is dropping. And if employment drops, that means demand and purchases are going to drop. And that would mean that the top lines are going to go down, and also margins are going to go down, and earnings are going to go down. If that is the case, even if the multiples remain the same, the stock prices are going to go down. I do not see any evidence of that being betrayed by the market right now, even though this morning futures are a little bit in the red, but it's not much to write home about. I think the markets are ignoring the fundamentals, and I've been saying that for a long time. I have been wrong. And as they say, a broken clock is right at least once. So maybe I'll be proved right sooner rather than later. Now, that said, I would like to go and have a look at the TradingView platform and do a little bit of analysis. So here we are in the TradingView platform, and I'm going to show you what I have here as the futures. S&P 500 is down 0.07%. It can change on a dime. 0.07% is not much to worry about. Likewise, Nasdaq is also down 0.05%. That's not much. Overall, I think the market is bullish. As you can see, the market sentiment is bullish both for S&P 500 as well as for Nasdaq, and all the chart vitals are indicating bullish run is very much intact. And it's at a 45-degree tear, so it's pretty good and sustainable from a momentum perspective. Fundamentals are a different story. As they say, markets can remain crazy longer than we can remain solvent. So that said, dollar index is kind of trying to struggle and stay above 97.29, which is the support that we have here. In the past, for a few days, we had fallen below, but we are struggling here today. Overall, the sentiment of the market for dollar is bearish. MACD is also bearish, and momentum is below average, showing a little bit of waning in enthusiasm. VIX is a bit subdued today at 0.50 negative, and gold continues to make its way up. And I think today we are finding a major test out here. This parallel channel, which has come with us for a long period of time, gives us an idea of what is happening with gold. And gold is going to face that challenge and decide whether it wants to break through out of this parallel channel or not. And I would like to show you a few more diagonal lines which show resistance. So if I was to draw a line from here, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touch points. So we have had resistance at 10 touch points, and then we have the support here. So in theory, I would say that we are looking at a very narrow wedge pattern being formed. And this wedge pattern, I think, will have to break out on the upside because we were in a bullish context. And we still have our long-term target at 3892.867. But the breakout on the upside is not guaranteed. It's more like the probability of breaking out on the upside is higher than the probability of it breaking out on the downside. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. So I'm still optimistic. I'm still holding Z Gold. It's got more than 10% gain since I have bought it. Put call ratio has become bullish right now. And we can see still the Canadian 5-year yield is continuing to stay low. And European 5-year yield has gone up by 0.1, whereas US 5-year yield is also going down in synchronicity with Canadian dollars. So the parity is still maintained to a certain extent, the disparity that was there. Now, let's go on and have a look at our indices and say S&P 500. What are the resistances today? So for today, I would say resistance is 6,729.47. Support is going to be around 6,658. And for NASDAQ, I would say that we have a resistance at around 25,190, and we have support somewhere around 24,487. Now, QQQ is showing that pre-market we are up a little bit, 0.03%, and that shows a potential positive open for the markets. And if we look at our AI stocks, we are looking at NVDA first. NVDA had a really big jump. So I made some good money on NVDA. I have some NVDA on the portfolio. The question is, do I want to sell? Because we are looking at the all-time peak out here. Now I'm going to draw a line out here to show what is the all-time high. Now this is the all-time high that we have here, which is going to form resistance today at 183.68. Are we going to be able to beat 183.68? Of course, technically it's not the all-time high because you can see the wicks have gone beyond that. But I think this is the point at which I would see some kind of resistance. If we manage to break above this, then I'm going to look at two things. One is closing above it, and the second one is the next day we want to close above the previous day's candle and yet remain above that 183.53 line. And then it will confirm this as a support, and that will be a base, and we'll build up on that. Now, the other positive thing I would like to see here is the fact that we have a pattern out here. So I would continue to stay invested and like to see what happens to NVIDIA. And just let me take this one out from here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'd like to stay invested in NVIDIA and see that it can break out above. We need to cross the trigger point out here. Once the trigger point is crossed, then I think we have good gains for NVIDIA. Meta is up 0.33% in pre-market trades. It will continue to get support somewhere in the region of 748.95, and it will have resistance around 790.92. Pre-market, it's up 0.33%. Google is up 0.25% in pre-market trades. It's kind of consolidating out here. I don't know what it wants to do. I would see this as a flag. This is a bull flag, which has not yet reached its full potential. But if I look at the second leg as a flagpole, then I would say we are creating a bull flag again in an attempt to move upwards. That's the way stocks move up in an orderly manner. So I think support for today should be around $245. Next, we look at Amazon. Amazon is facing FTC probe. Of course, with this FTC, I wouldn't put anything in favor of customers. It's always going to be in the favor of the companies. So I would look at this as a purchasing opportunity for Amazon. But from personal experience, I will say that Amazon has been diluting everything while increasing the charges. For example, Amazon Prime is supposed to deliver same day. Now, same day is very rare. And I have started seeing on many items 2-day Prime delivery. And if you want it earlier, then you pay extra for it. And Amazon Prime, which was coming as a free add-on, added a lot of value. But now Amazon Prime also has ads, and you need to pay extra to avoid having the ads. So those kind of things make me feel that Amazon is kind of pushing and pushing and pushing until the model breaks, and then they'll step back a little bit and let it stabilize for a while. That's what these companies do in order to increase the bottom line. Mark Rainey, Shark, do you think NVIDIA is going to go up today? Okay, let's answer that. Let us answer that. The market sentiment is improving. It has been bearish. MACD is bullish. And also, the momentum has got plenty of room on the RSI to go up. So I would say that somewhere around the middle of the day, probably there's a chance for NVIDIA to go up, but I wouldn't take it to the bank, Mark, because with the markets, right, when we do technical analysis, it's just a probability. I'm looking at a bullish sign out here, the reverse head and shoulder pattern. This is a bullish sign. But if you look at chinks in the armor, I would say that this gap up out here is an irregular price movement. But reverse head and shoulder pattern is a bullish pattern. The other bullish thing I'm seeing here is the high momentum and positive MACD. MACD is bullish. These are two bullish aspects. Now, the bearish aspect out here is the market sentiment is bearish. But what I can see here is basically that the bearish sentiment has been improving and going towards neutral. So putting all of those things together, I would say that the chances of it going up today is higher than it would have been for it to go down. Now, that said, I would say that the pre-market negative is probably because people are taking profits after the gain that we had yesterday of around 3.93%. So generally, I don't put much stock on pre-market action because it's likely to change. But that's the way I would leave it. You can mention in the comments if this answer helped you in any way. It's just a probability that it may go up. There is no guarantee. Next, I would like to go to look at Apple. Apple was up significantly yesterday. It was up 4.31% because Dan Ives has raised his price target for Apple due to strong demand for iPhone 17. And that gives it a lot of support at around 248.24. And I think market sentiment is bullish. Apple has been languishing for a while. So it's got its just returns, and I think it's reaching a point where it will face some resistance somewhere around 256.08 to 258.91. So I think 258.91 is going, 259.19 is going to be the resistance today for Apple. Right now it's at 255.13. Microsoft is up 0.08%, but the fact that it lost the sole cloud provider status for OpenAI is going to weigh in a little bit on Microsoft. And also Microsoft is not as tightly linked with OpenAI as it used to be before. So all of those things will start manifesting in the market. But one of the positive things I see here was that the previous downtrend that I had seen, this bearish channel, it has kind of been cancelled and we are started moving up. So I would consider this to be a proper bull channel now. And we are battling this resistance at 515.06. Pre-market, we are at 514.86. The next step I would look for in case of Microsoft is that it would break above 514.72 and confirm above it at least for one day so that we can assume this to be a solid support line and build a foundation and start moving upwards. So I think it's a mixed bag for Microsoft today. And then we look at Tesla. Tesla is up 1.14%. Tesla is having a momentum of its own. RSI has in the past gone all the way up to 83.56. And right now it's at 78.04. So a little more room for it to go up. But this could also perform the role of a topping tail, what we saw yesterday. and therefore I would be a bit cautious. We want to see the price close above 444.22 to maintain the continued momentum upwards. Next, Oracle is down 0.79% after a big gain yesterday of around 6.31%. Understandably, just like NVDA, there would have been some kind of a profit taking happening, and therefore we are seeing a drop in the pre-market session. But market sentiment, MACD, momentum, everything tells a bullish story for Oracle. AMD is up 0.23%. I have this potential target for the double top, which I've been watching for many days right now. And increasingly, it's seeming that we are not going to come up to 144.81. There's a positive spin out here for AMD, a little bit of a halo effect from NVIDIA. SMCI is up 1.22% in pre-market trades. It's going to fight 47.53, which happens to be our minor line of resistance for today. And if we break above that and confirm above that, then I think we are in for something good. The next resistance I feel is going to be at 48.54 for SMCI. Market sentiment has turned bullish. MACD is bullish, moving away from the signal line. Momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. So SMCI could gain more. And next I'm looking at AVGO, Broadcom. Broadcom is up 0.56 after falling yesterday for around 1.78%. We have this gap fill, which is attracting it down as a magnet. And if the gap fill starts to dominate, then I think we'll continue to move down towards a support of 302.96. Right now, the indications from the chart are that we are starting the downturn right now because market sentiment, which was bullish, has started waning. MACD, which was bullish, has gone into the bearish side, crossed over the signal line, and it's becoming bearish. And momentum, which was overbought, and RSI, which was overbought, and the momentum, which was very high, has now started dropping towards average, and it's pointed downwards. So I don't think Broadcom is looking that great, but let us see what happens when the market opens, because pre-market action is not always something we can take to the bank. Palantir is up 1.34%. I think Palantir has got a good market because it's in the defense section. Government is its biggest customer. So whatever happens, I think Palantir is a safe bet. And I am invested in Palantir. I'm not increasing my investments, but I think overall Palantir will continue to move upwards. And I think for today, the resistance is going to be around 188.38 and support is going to be 174.64. SMH is up 0.41%, and we are looking at the resistance out here at 327.10 and support at 309.71. Tempus AI is up 1.23%. It's been able to crack the all-time high, and then it came back down again. And today it's making its second attempt. And let us see if it's going to be able to break through and move upwards. And 6 hours ago, we had some news about Tempus AI, and I'm not able to open it up as such. So I'm going to check it out later on. But what it says is that investor presentation and revised revenue guidance. So it doesn't relate to Tempus AI, so I'll just ignore that. APLD, where our friend Hot Dog made a big killing yesterday. It jumped 19.38%. I'm so happy for you, Hot Dog. And I'm glad you picked it up. And as I can point out here, we had a price target of 24.79. We went exactly up there and we got pushed down. So if I was to draw a line out here at the price target, right? So sometimes technical analysis comes out spot on, but at other times, it's just a probability. So it was always a probability that we would strike a target of 24.86, and we came up with this target quite a while ago. So I'm feeling good that technical analysis still works. Now this resistance has to be broken. This morning we are at 24.96, and 24.96 is below what we have here as resistance at 24.93. So oh, sorry, we have already surpassed that. We are at 25.11. So what I would look at for today is 24.96 to become a support. And for that to become a support, we want to close above 24.93. And the next day, we have to close above the top of the candle that we formed today. And then I would say that we have confirmed that we have a support at 24.93, and we build a base there and continue moving up. So I'm glad that Hot Dog took his profits out there. And yeah, it's always a probability, Hot Dog. Always remember that, because I'll feel really bad if we have a wrong call out here. As a retail investor, I'm trying my best. And this gives me more confidence. I'm happy you made some money out there. I wish I had put my money on my own technical analysis, but my portfolio is very limited. I have limited capacity. I did benefit from your feedback on Tempus, and I made good money there. So thank you very much, and thanks for sharing your tips. And that's the objective of this channel. We want to crowdsource intelligence from retail investors and trade ideas and jointly make money. So thanks, Hot Dog. And let's go on to the next one out here. Rigetti. Rigetti is continuing riding the CDAC collaboration momentum. I wish I had retained this, but Marg Radio say, how do you know when to buy or sell at support or resistance? Because in one way you sell at ATH, but you also buy at break and retest. It's hard to know which. Absolutely, Marg. That's the problem. That's why I think I like to stick to a certain number of stocks so that we know the stocks intimately and what is happening with them and their tendencies. That helps a lot on deciding when to buy, when to sell. But typically, let me go back to APLD. Typically what I would do, this is the way I'm thinking. I'm a retail investor, so I'm not claiming to be a market expert or anything. My experience has taught me that what I would do here is that I would take caution when we approach a resistance, and I would sell as we approach the resistance. I won't even wait until we hit the resistance. As soon as we come close, I would sell, and then I'll wait for the price to confirm above the resistance. So the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be watching APLD to see if we closed above it, first of all, to convert this into a support. And then I would like to have another candle which closes above the first day's candle. That would give me a confirmation that this support has been confirmed. And then I would look for a bullish pattern to form so that I can enter into the stock. So those are the kind of steps I would take before entering back into the stock again. I hope that answer helps you understand how I am thinking. And if you have any critique on that, please put that in the comment section so that I can reevaluate my my thought process. So that's the way I would look at going forward. Now, having said that, let's go on to genomics. In genomics, I have got Prime. So we have a target for Prime. Thanks, Mark. We have a target for Prime based on a previous bull flag. So this was the bull flag flagpole, and this was the bull flag. And as per the theory, the same length of the flagpole has been extended from the breakout point, which gives us a target of 7.26. I believe we are marching in that direction. And we had intermediate bull flag target. So this was the smaller bull flag from here to here, which broke out from here. So this green line that you see is the line I have taken from here. This is the length of the flagpole. I've just moved it to the side so that we can see the pattern forming. So there was a bit of a consolidation out here. Today, again, we are up compared to yesterday in pre-market, up 2.40%. I'm of the belief that probably we are forming a bullish pennant or something out here as an intermediate step to gain strength and energy to progress towards our ultimate target of 7.22, which is the probability that I'm looking at for Prime. Intelia is up 1.27% in pre-market trades. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. And RSI is overbought. Now, I just want to see how far overbought have we been in the past. In the past, we have gone all the way up to 91.50 on the RSI scale. And right now, we are just at 80.66. So I think Intelia can go up further until it hits that resistance on the RSI, and then it could come back down. We had a reverse head and shoulder pattern, and we had a target of 14.70, which has been met and exceeded. So now I would be watching for any kind of bullish flag pattern happening out here. I don't see this as a bull flag pattern. It is just 3 candles that have happened. an ideal bull flag pattern would be tapering downwards and then it will break out on the upside. That has not happened out here. So we'll watch this. Caribou Biosciences is up 2.07%. Support continues to be a minor line of support at 1.85. And I think the resistance is going to be somewhere around 2.03. Pre-market, we are at 1.97, which is up 2.07%. Market sentiment is still bearish. Beam is up 0.36% in pre-market trades. Altimmune is up 2.02%. Still, we have support at 3.33. I have not yet seen a bullish pattern out here. I would like to visualize some kind of a reverse head and shoulder pattern out here, but the head has not gone above the left shoulder. So I think the head should have been below the left shoulder. That has not happened. So I'm just going to ignore that possibility. We have a target out here of 4.31 based on a bull flag out here, but I'm going to hold on to what happens out here. I can't form any conclusions right now because it's very confusing and the movements are also pretty small. So I'll just wait, not take any call on Altimmune. Editas is up 0.33% riding on this bull channel. Support today is, I think I would say around 2.85 and resistance I would peg at around 3.08. Pre-market we're at 3.01. Illumina is down 0.29%. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.55%. It's continuing to have a support at around 60.65. And if I look at Allogene, it has got a flat trading situation in pre-market, and Grail is up 2.74% this morning. And we have resistance at around 45.76. It was a minor line of resistance, which continues to play its role. So I'm just going to pull this out further. And for today, I would say that the resistance is going to be at 45.44. Right now, we're at 45.70. So I think that we are already moved above. This is not a straight horizontal line. So pulling it forward has given us a better perspective. So this could be a minor line of support for today. And in terms of resistance, I would say that I think 51.47 would be the resistance for Grail today. PSCB is flat in pre-market trade. ARCG is up 0.50% in pre-market trade. Vertex continues its downward movement. And we are looking at a target of 370.22 for Vertex. Market sentiment is bullish, but it's tapering down. MACD is almost ready to cross over the signal line to the bearish side. Momentum is also weak right now. And then let's go on to look at Ginkgo Bioworks, which has finally broken out of this channel. I wouldn't call it a bull flag because, in my opinion, when you go below 50% of the length of the flagpole of a bull flag, then it's no longer a bull flag. So we have broken out here. This could form probably a superior bear channel. So I'm going to wait and watch what happens out here. If it forms a bull flag out here, then all bets are off and we'll look at a bull flag formation and the beginning of a bullish phase, in which case this diagonal line of resistance comes into play. Next, I want to look at Precision, which is also improving a little bit. It's up 0.52%. I don't see any new news on Precision. And what we have to watch for out there is the terms of agreement that they have made to get funding with a 10.x% interest rates, which has got a whole lot of milestones, marketing milestones. We want to see if they meet those marketing milestones. And once we get confirmation of that, I think we'll be able to move up. Right now, I'm looking at this as a bull flag. And if it breaks out on the upside, I think we are looking at creating a new bull channel and would re-enter the market. Eli Lilly is down 0.14% in pre-market trades. But I think Eli Lilly is a pretty good company and it's going to stay above the median of this, I would say, regression channel. And the median is at 739.27. I would like to see some movement away from this, bouncing off this median. And our market sentiment is still bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. But all these three indicators are slightly deteriorating. And I hope we have a change on that this morning. Next, I want to look at RAD, which is Ultragenics. It's down 0.07%. It needs to break through above this resistance of 29.52 in order to make any meaningful movement. I'm going to delete this target from earlier. And Let us see what happens with Ultragenics. I think that we have a multi-bagger out here in Ultragenics. We have a gap fill that has to take place, and we are looking for some news from FDA for Ultragenics, allowing them to go ahead and get approval and their BLA getting approved because they would have fixed all the objections raised in the complete response from FDA for their BLA. So that said, I think I would like to go and have a look at currencies. We are looking at Bitcoin out here. And as I said, my friends, Bitcoin and the crypto world is still very much correlated with the NASDAQ. And if NASDAQ and S&P 500 move up, Bitcoin is going to continue moving up. Today, we are seeing a little bit of a slight positive out here, but we'll have to watch this section further because market sentiment, which was bullish, has started waning. MACD is already bearish and momentum is below average. Can Bitcoin delink itself from the indices and start moving upwards? I think the possibility is there because one, there is a finite number of Bitcoins, more cannot be created. Number two, there are companies like MSTR which are buying Bitcoin and keeping it in their treasuries. So they are out of circulation. Number three is that there are a lot of Bitcoin wallets that are defunct and not able to retrieve the coins in them. So given all of those things, potentially sooner rather than later, we're going to we don't have a scarcity of Bitcoins. And even if the number of purchasers are less, there is going to be a demand supply imbalance, and that's going to push up Bitcoin price. Tom Lee has mentioned the price of around 200,000 by the end of this year, which may seem fantastic, but I think that's quite a possibility. So I'm staying invested in Bitcoin. Ethereum also has got a reverse head and shoulder pattern, so it's going to move downwards. So it is bearish in my opinion. Solana had shown a little bit of a promise by moving up, but right now it seems like it's under the influence of a double top and it's looking bearish. Now, the next one I want to talk about is XRP. XRP has got a support out here. It had broken out of the bullish pennant for which I had given it a target of somewhere around 4.64%. That was a high probability. And then I saw a bull flag out here and I gave it a probability of 3.343 as an intermediate step on our approach towards the ultimate target. But unfortunately, everything got reversed. And right now, I do not know what to think of XRP. So I'm going to wait for more candles to appear to see some pattern or the other. But till then, I would say that we have a support today at around 2.75. That said, I think I'd like to bring this video to an end. This live stream comes to an end. And I'd like to hear from you guys. If you got any hints or pointers for the community, any stock that you would like to recommend, then I could do a quick technical analysis, give my 2 cents on it, and we can all benefit. Remember, we are trying to crowdsource trading ideas and market sentiment in our channel from retail investors. So your feedback is always welcome. And if I don't hear from you in a short while, I'd like to wind up this session, go have my breakfast, and continue with my day. Okay, guys, thanks and have a great day.